It's our last class. I thought you were dancing with me, Dugan. Oh, Brady, that's so awesome. Brady's at the disco for dancing. Oh my God, Danny G is sitting up. Danny, you got a haircut.
I did. It was too poofy, and I don't like the haircut. They messed up.
No, looks good. You look like a young professional. I'm so proud of you by the last class. Hi, 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 hi. Louisa, you have like, can you close your blinds? You're like, I can't see you. You just look like a shadow. Okay. Okay. Mahela, I saw that.
What?
You yawned in my class.
I didn't yawn.
I just saw you. Now you're lying. You're yawning and lying. This is not, we're not getting off to a good start. Much better, Louisa. Much better. I feel like I can't hear anything, so I'm going to leave and come back. I couldn't hear anything because I had my computer on mute, so or I had my volume off. You know, it's like a mixture of excitement because this is our last class and sadness because it's our last class. I'm like I'm a little sad and a little happy, a lot happy. Are you happy? This is when you say, no, you're mostly sad, Dugan. Party in the park on Sunday at 2. Purcell Park. Write that down. Purcell Park. The key is Crawford Avenue. That's what gets you there from campus. But if you need me to pick you up, tell me sooner rather than later, because I need to be able to budget my time so I can make it to Krispy Kreme and to the park and get everybody there, you know? So, and what kind of donuts do? Okay. All right. Tell me what kind of donuts you like. Video drafts. I know that there were some YouTube snafus, so that's why I opened up the portal in Canvas for submitting your video draft. And if you submitted your video draft, well, last time I checked, I had posted all of the ones that, so Louisa, it looked like you were half naked. Louisa, do you have pants on? Like, are you half naked?
No, I have pants on, I promise. I went to the gym this morning, so I'm in like weird clothes.
Okay. All right, so you had like some shorts on because it didn't really look like you had
No,
anything.
they're kind of fun.
Oh.
They're like pink crazy leggings or something.
Oh, well, over Zoom, they look like your skin.
Yeah, I know that's kind of the catch, but it's okay.
All right, I'm glad you have pants on. I'm very, very, very glad that you have pants on. Okay. Nobody's answering my donut question. You all want me to be the donut decider? I don't want to be the donut decider. I want to bring you things that will motivate you, you know? Okay, well, all right. Okay, just regular old, just the regular kind, just regular. That's fine. I love those too. Like, I think I could sit down and eat an entire dozen glazed in one sitting by myself. I'm pretty sure I could. Boston cream. Okay. All right. I won't be there, but glazed is the best flavor. Jane, why won't you be there?
I'm leaving tomorrow.
What? Like, you don't have exams and stuff?
They're all online and my parents both work and this is the only day they pick me up.
Did you tell them that you have a party on Sunday to go to?
I did, but they're both teachers, so they can't, like, it's kind of hard for them to take off for a party at the park and then drive 6 hours after that, you know?
They're teachers, they don't work on Sunday.
Yeah, but it's a 6 hour drive from where I live. I'm not going to make them come 6 hours, no offense, for a party at the park.
I
It's a
am
long-
offended.
It's a long drive, so
All right. All right. Where are you from?
New Jersey.
Okay. Taylor can't come either. Why not, Taylor?
I leave tomorrow too.
What on earth? Tomorrow is April 30th. You have like a week more of school. I don't even understand.
I have to get my second vaccine.
Okay. That's
I
pretty
won't
good.
be there.
reason.
I won't be there
What?
either because one of my suite mates got COVID, so I had to come home.
Yikes. Well, how come then the numbers reported by JMU like yesterday and the day before said 0 cases?
I have no idea. Apparently, he went to a crew event. Apparently, all of crew got it, so they're just might not be reporting it.
Well, I hope you don't get it.
Oh, I'm good. I tested. I got both my vaccine shots. I just don't want to be down there anymore.
All right. Well, that's cool. Is anybody coming? Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. As long as, I don't know. The last time I checked, let me check the weather. It had changed, of course. Let's see. Sunday, now it's saying partly sunny and 81. So not quite as good as the last time I reported the weather. All right. Okay. Well, so all I have so far is glazed and Boston cream. But I'll bring a bunch of different kinds of donuts. Christos, stop typing things on your computer and pay attention.
You can't stop me. What are you gonna do?
Report you to judicial, OSARP, report you, give you another strike. Strike 3, you're out.
You
I should
threatened
have like 10
all
strikes
year,
by
you
now.
don't bother.
Strike 3, you're out. Out. You're out of here.
I'm mad at them.
What? I don't know what you said. Sometimes like you all unmute and then you mute too quickly and what you say is just a garbled mess. All right, we have a lot to do. So RCSs are the next thing. They're due by 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. I posted the RCS form to the module, the week 15 module. You are looking at the written draft that was sent to you and the video draft that is posted to your group's playlist in our YouTube channel. Uh-oh, Dugan has COVID.
Are you talking to me?
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking about you.
Oh, oh yeah, my audio killing me.
Yeah, it's bad. Take some Zyrtec.
Right, yeah, I actually just bought generic Zyrtec because I really don't have the pharmacy experience.
I can't vouch for the generic kind.
We'll see how it goes.
Probably just as good. You let us know. Let us know. Okay, so RCSs, you got that? Okay, the other things coming up are a Spark draft is due by 11:59 p.m. on Monday. So get in there and start tinkering with Spark so that you can figure it out. Hey, Jane, did that video I sent help? Did you watch that video?
Yeah, it was a good one. Thank you. I like went on and like cut like step by step, and it was it was good.
Okay, good. Then Project 4 and the reflection are due by 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, May 6th. That's a week from today. Okay. And finally, the challenge 2 is due on Friday, May 7th. But you're welcome to turn it in early if you're like, lady, you be crazy. Our semester's over. Okay.
What is the challenge to again?
Friday, May 7th, a week from
No, like not when. What? What is it?
So way back at the beginning of the semester, most people, except for you, did a rhetorical analysis of an article. You filled out a table and you have a new article to do a rhetorical analysis of to try to prove that you learned something this semester.
No, I remember what that is now. You gave me no, I remember what that is. I did do that. I got a 90 on it, man.
Everybody else got 100 because they turned it in on time.
Well, you know what? That's a 100 just late. That's okay. You ever seen the tortoise in the hare? Right? Who wins in the end? Who wins? You tell me that.
I don't think the tortoise got a 90 on the first assignment.
You're right. He got a 100. He just took his time. He may not. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder, man. I see 100. You might not.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how it works.
Okay, so we can have this debate after class today. Oh, by the way, on Tuesday, when I took my mom to the hospital to see the cardiologist, we were late and the cardiologist refused to see her. I know. I gave the poor people in the office got the full Karen treatment. They got the Karen. They got the real actual Karen. Like
how much late were you?
Okay, we were 15 minutes late, but when you go up to the 3rd floor at RMH, this in where parking lot B is, and you go up to the 3rd floor, there's this reception room or registration room, and you've got to register. And we were in the registration room for half an hour waiting because they had something online. So it was my responsibility that we were 15 minutes late, but that we were 45 minutes late, half an hour of that was the hospital's responsibility. So I was irate. I'm still a little bitter about it.
That's bogus.
I know. So I was like, they're like, oh, we can fit you in tomorrow at 10. Well, Wednesday at 10, I'm in class. And so I was like, no, thank you. We're going to see a different cardiologist. And the guy's like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. And only later did I figure out why he said, are you sure? It's because every cardiologist in Harrisonburg, all 11 of them work in that same office. So we'll be going to Augusta County instead of RMH. Okay. Anyway, how did I get there? Anyway, I just wanted to follow up on Tuesday, right? Because I left early. I cut off class. I curtailed class. And I was one angry Karen. I was one very, very angry Karen. I'm thinking about writing a letter. As soon as I'm done grading everything I have to grade, including your projects 2 and 3, I'm going to write a letter to that office. I am. Oh, I'm going to. Don't you shake your head at me, Tristan. I'm going to. I'm going to have you all read it too. I'm going to draft it. I'm going to be like, rhetorically analyze this and let me know how persuasive I am.
That's just too far. That's just too petty. Like,
my mother is 85 years old. The reason I kept that appointment at 11 o'clock on Tuesday, despite the fact that I had to curtail my class and shirk my professional responsibilities, was because they told me on the phone that it was urgent. Well, if it was urgent, they would have seen my mother on Tuesday when we showed up. Anyway, still a little mad. Don't get on Karen's wrong side. Don't get on the wrong side of Karen. Do not get on Karen's bad side. Okay, all right. Where
To
were
be
we?
fair though, she's kind of right. Like, all cardiologists are pretty petty. From what I know with my dad getting tons of EKGs over the years in different facilities. Like every cardiologist thinks the other one was a drop out of medical school and somehow got a position as a cardiologist. Like they all hate each other.
Is anybody's parent a doctor? Because I'm about to say something generally negative about doctors. Anybody related to a parent who's a doctor? Okay, my daughter's a nurse. My mom was a nurse. Most doctors are douchebags. Nurses do all the work. Doctors get all the credit. Yes, Rachel can come to the party in the park. What kind of donut would she like?
I love a classic glaze, you know.
All right, that's the popular answer. Most people are going for the classic glaze. I mean, the only problem is I might eat all of them before I get to the park on Sunday because I love them myself, and I can put down some glazed donuts from Krispy Kreme. I can. All right, we actually have a lot to do. In Canvas, I dropped a couple of documents that should have lit up by now. For example, okay. I think I put this document in there. As you know, in Project 4, you aim to correctly deploy a colon, a semicolon, a dash, and parentheses. These are tools that writers use. Some of you are like, I don't care about semicolons. These are tools that writers use, and writers need to know how to use them. Okay, so I added this explanation sheet. So there is this question of corrections for projects 2 and 3. I think we're going to try to squeeze in corrections for project 2 and 3. However, with project 1, the most that anybody had to do was 10. I'm thinking the most for projects 2 and 3 is going to be 5. Okay. And I'm going to hold little correction sessions that will be optional, where we'll do like what we did with project 1 and look at a sentence from everybody's work. And one of the things that we'll be talking about is like colons and semicolons and dashes and parentheses and that kind of thing. So I'm giving you this explanation sheet, but so here's the gist of it. The colon marks the end of a setup for something coming next. It provides a frame pointing beyond itself like a spotlight. I tell my students, and I can't remember if I've said this or not, I probably have, because it's like, it's a refrain. It's something that I echo frequently when talking about corrections. If the colon could talk, it would go, ta-da. Okay. The colon is quite dramatic, and unlike the semicolon, it links what precedes and follows it formally and tightly rather than loosely and associatively. It operates, I can't see because I can't see it because the stupid panel's in my way. It usually operates with dramatic force. It can frame a list to follow, separate cause and effect, or divide a brief claim from a more expanded version of the claim. Okay, this is the most important thing. The language on at least one side of the colon must be an independent clause, though both sides can be. Okay, so examples. Rubber The sentimentality of earlier efforts gave way to a new complexity, both in the range of their subjects and the sophistication of their poetic devices. Uh-oh, I just got a message that says my internet connection is unstable. Do I sound like a robot? Am I going in and out?
Just a little bit.
What?
Only a little bit.
Okay. Nowhere is this change more evident than in a sequence of songs near the album's end. Ta-da! I'm looking through you in my life. Wait, and if I needed someone. Okay, colon. The most frequent use of the colon, well, there are two most frequent uses. One is separating a title from a subtitle. Two is when you have introduced a quotation with an independent clause and you go, ta-da, boom, there it is. Neither one of these examples is that. The second example is introducing a list. If you use a colon, you don't use words like including, because the colon means including. In the first example, it's more of the one that says, divide a brief claim from a more expanded version of the claim. That's what's happening in that one. The dash provides an informal alternative to the colon. So formal versus informal. For adding information to a sentence, its effect is sudden, of the moment. What springs up impulsively to disrupt and extend in some way, some new way, the ongoing train of thought. A pair of dashes provides an invaluable resource to writers for inserting information within a sentence. In this usage, the rule is that the sentence must read coherently if the inserted information is left out. Okay, so it can set off like in a positive. It can do the same thing two commas do, but it does it with a little bit more drama, as this is saying. Okay, this is important. Note that to type a dash, type 2 hyphens with no spaces between, before, or after. This distinguishes the dash from a hyphen, which is the mark used for connecting 2 words into one. The dash says to the reader, this too, or in the case of a pair of them, remember the thought in the beginning of the sentence because we're jumping to something else before we come back to finish that thought. All right, examples. For all their loveliness, the songs on Rubber Soul are not without menace. I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to see you with another man. Thanks for half smiling, Dugan, at my menacing voice. In addition to the usual lead, rhythm, and bass guitar ensemble, Rubber Soul introduced new instruments, notably the harpsichord interlude in My Life, the sitar spiraling through Norwegian wood that had not previously been heard in rock and roll. Somebody saying something? Christos, are you unmuted? Somebody's unmuted. Who unmuted? Do you have something to say? Do you have a question? All right, somebody unmuted, not my imagination. Okay, all right. So this is good, useful information. Read over it on your own. Misused colons, this is valuable. Sometimes we learn the most by what not to do. Do not put a colon. Oops, did yours get blue? Why did mine get blue? Do not put a colon, God's sake. Do not, what happens is the stupid panel is in my way. It's always in my way. No matter where I put it, it ends up in my way. Do not put a colon between a verb and its object or complement, unless the object is a quotation, between a preposition and its object, or after such expressions as, such as, especially, and including. Such as, especially, and including are all synonyms for the colon. But that's what the colon means if you wrote it out in words. Okay, so this is showing you examples of what not to do. Some natural fibers are, colon, cotton, wood, silk, and linen. Do not do that. In poetry, additional power may come from devices such as, colon, don't do that. Simile, metaphor, and alliteration. Instead, in each of those examples, there's no punctuation there, simply none. Okay, stupid panels in my way again. Semicolons. The following public servant, I'm not going to read that part. Linking independent clauses. Though a comma and a coordinating conjunction often join independent clauses, semicolons provide writers with subtler ways of signaling closely related clauses. The clause following a semicolon often restates an idea expressed in the first clause. It sometimes expands on or presents a contrast to the first. Notice the semicolon in that sentence. Here's an example. Immigration acts were passed. Newcomers had to, immigration acts were passed, semicolon. Newcomers had to prove, besides moral correctness and financial solvency, their ability to read. Gordon uses a semicolon to join the two clauses, giving the sentence an abrupt rhythm that suits the topic, colon, laws that imposed strict requirements. All right, 20B, is the most common use of the colon. This is the one that most people will, this is the structure most people will use. A semicolon, not a comma, should link independent clauses joined by a conjunctive adverb such as however or therefore, or a transition such as a result or for example. The circus comes as close to being the world in microcosm as anything I know, semicolon. In a way, it puts all the rest of show business in the shade. Every kid should have access to a computer, semicolon. Furthermore, access to the internet should be free. The thing I don't like about those two examples is they don't use the most common example. The most common example is, I love Krispy Kreme donuts. However, I have the quarantine, I've gained the quarantine 15. So I'm not going to eat any of the donuts on Sunday. Sorry, I didn't say Michael. I'm trying not to eat any of the Krispy Kreme donuts on Sunday, semicolon. However, they're just so enticing. They're just so irresistible. If you see me reaching for a donut, slap my hand, okay? And be like, lady, you're fat, okay? Do we have a deal? Okay.
No.
Yes. Yes. Okay, using parentheses. Use parentheses to enclose material that is of minor or secondary importance in a sentence. Material that supplements, clarifies, comments on, or illustrates what precedes or follows it. Inventors and men of genius have almost always been regarded as fools at the beginning and very often at the end of their careers. During my research, I found problems with the flat rate income tax. And then it's defined here in parentheses, a single tax rate with no deductions. Parentheses are also used to enclose textual citations and numbers or letters in a list, but those don't count as your use of parentheses. So we can just skip that. With other punctuation. Oh, this is important. A period may be placed either inside or outside a closing parentheses, depending on whether the parenthetical text is part of a larger sentence. A comma, if needed, is always placed outside a closing parentheses and never before an opening one. Okay, that's good stuff. And then there are just some more uses and examples. Okay, so also included in this is a good little read on closers, like how to end your piece, because it's hard, right? It's hard. Good endings are hard. Good endings are hard to find. That's a subtle allusion to A Good Man is Hard to Find by Flannery O'Connor. Good short story. Okay, all right. I think I posted that to Canvas. Did anybody find it in Canvas, or was I lying when I said I posted it to Canvas? Did you find it there? Is it there in our module? You found it? Okay, good. So the other thing I really need to talk about, really. Don't look. I'm not ready for you to look at. Look. Chicago style. Okay. Oh, radio. I also put this in Canvas. Project for submission information. Oh, I meant to get my darn. I meant to get my show and tell. Hold on, I gotta get my show and tell. Oh no. My show and tell's downstairs. All right, we're gonna have to go downstairs to get my show and tell. Okay, all right, okay. With me downstairs. Here. My family. See my family, my pictures. Family, my pictures. See. Where's my other copy? I don't even understand. All right, this is my show and tell. Big book. It's not the one I was looking for. think it's in my room. We can't go in my room. My room is way too messy. I can't show you my messy room. Don't walk it past me. Exhausting. Okay, what you need to know about Chicago style. Named for the University of Chicago, where the Chicago Manual of Style, CMS for short, was, oh, notice my parentheses, was first developed and implemented. Chicago style uses either footnotes, notice my parentheses, notes that refer the reader to the bottom of the page, or endnotes, notice my parentheses, listed at the end of the chapter or book to cite the work in the text. For this project,
Are you in a Word document? We can only see the final.
what? You can't see?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, here we go. How about now? Okay. Okay, so you can see my parentheses. For this project, you'll use endnotes. Whether a writer opts for footnotes or endnotes, an alphabetized bibliography is included as the final page or pages of the document. Because of the constraints of Spark, which doesn't allow superscript numbers, that little, can you see that little one? That's a superscript number, which takes you to the bottom of the page like that, which in a typical text format looks like this. Looks like this. Microsoft Word is set up to make footnotes and endnotes easy. So this document is in Microsoft Word, not in Spark, obviously. Okay, so because of the constraints of Spark, which doesn't allow superscript numbers, format your citations as sequential numbers in brackets following the source reference in your text. Especially useful for understanding the citation format are pages 207 to 208 and 226 to 227 in EW, which stands for the Easy Writer. The numbers correspond to the sequential instance of a source's use, not to the source itself. So some writers think that if I'm referring to this book, that this becomes number one, and if I'm referring to this book, this becomes number two. That's not right. It means instead this. In other words, if you use source A 2 times, once in paragraph 2 and then again in paragraph 7, and source B 2 times, both times in paragraph 3, then your endnotes will look like this. Endnotes. Source A, full note citation with page or paragraph number. 2, source B, full note citation with page or paragraph number. 3, source B shortened note citation. Notice my parentheses. Author's last name, page or paragraph number. Author's last name, comma, page or paragraph number. Source A, shortened citation. Notice my parentheses. Author's last name, shortened title, page or paragraph number. You still create a full traditional entry in a separate bibliography section at the end, labeled bibliography this time. So with project 1, when we were using MLA style, projects 1 and 2, when we were using MLA style, you called it works cited. Project 3, when we were using APA style, you called it references. Project 4, when we're using Chicago style, you call it bibliography. It's all the same thing. It's annoying. And you still haven't elected me queen of the world. When I am queen of the world, there will be one citation style, and it will combine all the best elements of all the main styles. See page 208 to understand the slight differences between the footnote entry and the bibliography entry, and see 227. So when I'm referring to page numbers, I mean this book, for a helpful example. Spark doesn't allow for hanging indents in the bibliography, but do note that Chicago style entries are formatted as hanging indents when done in hard copy. Entries follow capitalization, punctuation, and italics rules that are just like MLA. Check out the Chicago sections on pages 204 through 227 of the Easy Writer. Another great resource is the actual Chicago Manual of Style. This is what I went to go get from downstairs. The full text of which is available online and searchable at chicagomanualofstyle.org. See how thick this book is? See it? It is worth knowing that the CMS, the Chicago Manual of Style, is generally acknowledged to be the style Bible. Notice my dash. It is a thorough guide considered to be the last word on matters of usage and mechanics in writing and editing. Like, I kind of love this book. Like, I'm gonna kiss it. I love it. It's like tells me everything that I need to know as a writer. Well, not everything I need to know, but all the like deets, the details. Project submission by 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, May 6th, a week from today. Ooh, 15 minutes from a week from today. 14 minutes from a week from today. Publish your revised, edited, polished work in Spark by clicking share and then choosing publish and share link. Reminder, when you make additional changes after initially publishing, then you'll need to click update link. And here's a little image for you that shows you how to do that. It's like lightning, you better pay attention. We noticed you made some changes in your project, update link, click that. Copy the shareable link from the publish and share page and paste it into the project for submission spot in Canvas. Do not use the URL at the top of your Spark page. This is in red. This is in red. Do not use the URL at the top of your Spark page. Instead, where it says shareable link, you click copy and use that. It's a good idea to open a different browser and test the link and video or videos. If the technology doesn't work, it's your responsibility and your grade will reflect the technology snafu. Check it, make sure, ask your roommate if you can use their computer and try to open it using the link that you provided. Also by 10:30 a.m. on May 6th, submit to the Project for Reflection portal in Canvas a description of / reflective summary about the substantive changes that you've made to your project since the first drafts, both traditional text and video drafts. This document, this is in highlight, this document works in conjunction with your final online submission to evidence what you have learned this semester about the process of writing and the interrelated work of reading and thinking. I'm looking for genuine reflectiveness, thought, and depth. Reflections will be graded more strictly this time. So here are some example questions that you might think about. Lastly, how have you changed as a reader, writer, and thinker this semester? If you don't think big picture the whole semester, then Karen will be mad. Notice my parentheses. These questions, as always, are designed merely to stimulate your thought process. Feel free to choose your own path of reflection. Use complete sentences and paragraphs when composing your reflection. I have for you, God bless this freaking panels in my way. Freaking panels in my way. Okay, I have for you, whoops, oh, hey. Oh my God, it's in my way. Can you see anything other than the Word document, or are you still on the Word document? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna stop sharing and we'll reshare. How's that sound? Okay, can you see that? Chick-fil-A, or Chick-fil-A, as I called it the first time I ever saw it. I was in Columbia Mall in Howard County, Maryland. I'd never seen a Chick-fil-A before. And I was like, with my best friend, Lisa Hawkins, and I was like, Chick-fil-A. That's how I read it. So ever since then, in my head, I've called it Chick-fil-A because it's funny. Okay. So this is an example of someone who did a really good job with, oh, look at her colon. Let's see if her colon's right. This is how it all began. I was backing out of my school's parking lot after a meeting when my friends and I decided to get food. Pretty good. I like that colon. Oh my God. What is better than Chick-fil-A's waffle fries? Is there anything better? No.
I like Popeye's fries a lot.
I don't think I've ever had Popeye's fries. I'm not even sure I've ever been to a Popeye's, actually. I'm a Chick-fil-A girl. I really am. Oh, I see a dash. Then I heard it, the sound of steel to steel, the sound of my car backing into my friend's car door. Not the dark night sky after all. Instead, it was my friend's charcoal colored car. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, it was a prank. Oh, look, another dash. That is when my parents realized I needed to learn responsibility and pay for my mistakes. Literally. That's good. I like it. See, that doesn't look, that's not tempting to me at all. Not like the fries. I'm a potato girl. Lots of dashes. Oh, this is what I was trying to show you. So here's an example. Well, she used the pull quote feature, but so this is how Sam did her citation. So we're going to scroll to the end. We're going to look for number 2. Well, let's see how she introduced it. Chen, okay, according to the Washington Post, Michelle Chen's article, 5 Myths About Fast Food Work, explains one of the biggest myths about fast food restaurants. Not a great introduction right there, probably not how I would do it. Chen exposes the most basic myth people believe is that fast food employees are unskilled. Okay, there's a 1. She immediately disproves this misconception, arguing that, I like that intro right there. Not only does this ignore the fact that this work requires skills from managing inventory to training and supervising other employees, it also disregards the day-to-day challenges workers navigate on the job. So you can visually see the difference between a dash and a hyphen in this sentence. So let's scroll to her end. Let's scroll in the end, see if we can find her. Okay, so here are her notes. This is her notes list. Chen, Michelle, 5 Myths About Fast Food Work, The Washington Post, April 10th, 2015. It would be good if this periodical title were italicized, and I don't think there's any reason why that can't happen in Spark. Ooh. Then she uses 2, ibid, which is Latin for, it's like ibidum, which means same as that last thing. Okay, so she's telling us these 2 citations both come from the same article. That's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. And then she uses 3 more sources, and then she also has a bibliography. Now, her bibliography looks great. Notice there are no hanging indents. Why? Why are there no hanging indents?
Spark doesn't allow it.
My God. Be still, my heart. You were paying attention, Dugan. It's so exciting for me. So exciting for me. Notice nobody else.
Am I normally not paying attention?
No, no, it's not you. That was not meant to be. That means somebody's paying attention. Like, my worry is nobody's paying attention, and most of nobody's paying attention, but you were. And so it makes me so, my heart is all aflutter. I appreciated Sam's work. This is making me really hungry. Really, really hungry. I'm so hungry. She's got a video. Yeah. Who wishes Chick-fil-A was open on Sunday? Like, whenever I want to go there, it happens to always be Sunday. She included a button. Does the button go? Oh, and the button actually goes somewhere. Oh, that's amazing. This is good. Sam's work is good. So that's another example for us to look at. But her citations are particularly noteworthy. They're model citations. Isn't that a great title? Why is that the perfect title for this piece?
That's what they say.
That's what they say whenever you say thank you. They go, my pleasure. And sometimes it sounds like they mean it too. Like, this is what I want to, from this semester on, I'm going to train my students from the first day to say my pleasure whenever I say thank you. Hey, Dugan, thank you for paying attention.
My pleasure.
Kisses. Oh, sorry, I should have coughed later.
I didn't even
Appreciate
understand.
the support, Vistas.
Hey, wouldn't it be fun if you guys got into like a fist fight on Sunday at the party in the park? Are you both coming?
Yeah, I'm going, but I don't want to fight Vistas.
Hey man, I don't want to fight Dugan. Like, come on.
I know. Who would want to fight Dugan? Dugan is so like sweet and innocent.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say because I'm so strong. Oh,
No,
angry.
you're like such a nice guy. Who would want to fight you? Okay, all right. How are we doing? Is that clear? Is that helpful? How's that? Helpful? All right, I'm going to drop a file into the chat. Where is it? I swear I put it here. Where'd it go? Why? Why is it missing? I'm so hungry thinking about Chick-fil-A.
Go get Chick-fil-A then.
No way. I'm on a diet. I can't be eating that stuff. I gotta lose the pandemic pounds.
Okay.
The quarantine 15. Where is it? I don't understand. Where is it? I don't understand. I swear I put it in here. All right, have to pull it from somewhere else. Let's see. All right, stand by. It's coming. Stand by. It's coming. All right. Ugh. Okay, all right, okay. That's from a movie. I don't know what movie it's from though. All right, here we go. All right. Everybody wants an A, right? Okay, so let's look at the A. No, this is not the right version. Oh my God, this is not the right version. Stop, share. God, I swear I saved it. I swear I saved it. That's not right at all. That's not even close to being right. Share. Okay, the version that I gave you is like not the right version, so don't look at that. Okay. Everybody wants an A. Here's what you'll do if you want an A. You'll have a clear, unique, intelligent, and sophisticated argument about an issue on which people would reasonably have differing opinions. Awesome topic choice. Originality, creativity, and complex thought. Relevant, detailed, and fulfilling supporting ideas. So that's like the argument piece, the story piece. Personality, panache, depth, and persuasiveness. Narrative strategies work powerfully to deliver the argument and mesh fluidly with the argument. Details and description create a cohesive story. The writer makes potent choices and strikes just the right balance. Research presents thorough, important evidence that builds strong support for the central claim. Highly developed critical use of source material seamlessly integrated into the writing with both lead-ins and analytical or interpretive follow-up. Writer builds credibility and embodies fairness. Writer seems like a mini expert on the subject matter. Digital tools. The medium enhances the message. The overall design draws the reader in and contributes to their understanding. Every image brings color, vividness, and dimension to the work. Video segment demonstrates a creative use of technology, thorough preparation, and careful post-production work. Format, style, citations, and mechanics. Vigorous and varied sentence style and word choice. The writing is crisp, lively, and engaging. Demonstrates exemplary skill in and mastery of SWE is standard written English. The writing revolves around strong verbs, and the writer uses all punctuation to good effect, correctly deploying parenthesis, the colon, the dash, and the semicolon. Accurate and careful Chicago formatting. The writer obviously knows how to use the Easy Writer as a reference tool and takes great care in formatting the piece. Has fewer than 5 errors. There are no corrections for Project 4. Instead, correctness becomes something that I factor into your overall grade. So does that mean that if you have 6 errors, you cannot possibly get an A? No, that's not what it means. It's totally not what it means. It means it's one factor. Okay. Let's just, for the sake of juxtaposition, look at unsatisfactory, which would be, let's look at weak. Now let's look at weak. So weak would be a D. The purpose is difficult to discern. The writing may lack a clear arguable claim, or the opinion may seem obvious or cliche or illogical. The argument may be built upon a weak thesis, or the central claim seems just too broad for a work of this length. The writer needed to dig deeper to provide more nuance or a stronger, more focused point. The writer doesn't seem to grasp the difference between showing and telling. I'll talk to you about that. The chronology in the story might cause confusion. The shift from narration to argument seems stilted. The ideas in the story, the argument, or both are underdeveloped. Insufficiently developed ideas leave questions for readers. Credibility of the writer seems questionable. Writer needs to be more well-informed. Uncritical use or overuse of source material. Relevance of source material may be unclear. The sources seem inserted merely to fill a requirement. Documentation may be incomplete or inaccurate. The design choices disrupt or seem separate from the message. Images seem irrelevant, haphazard, or awkward. The video segment contains significant flaws in cohesion, clarity, and editing. Work demonstrates the bare minimum effort at design, use of digital tools, and video content creation. The writer seems to disregard the importance of visuals. Sentence style is choppy and unvaried, or overly formal and cumbersome. In spots, word choice may seem peculiar or incorrect. Syntax forces the reader to have to slow down or reread. Writing tends to cause a wrinkled brow effect for the reader. Contains many errors in usage mechanics and Chicago formatting that should have been caught with proper proofreading. Seems careless and imprecise. Doesn't seem to understand how to use the semicolon, the colon, the parentheses, or the dash, or only attempts some of these marks, not all. All right, well, I will post the correct version to the module in Canvas. I can't like take it back from the chat. Can I take it back? I can't like delete it. Can I delete it from the chat? Can't delete it. It's not cool. All right. What questions do you have?
I do got one question. So you did say that the corrections are just one piece, like just because there's fewer corrections, it doesn't mean that you can't still earn the same amount of points back, basically, is what you were saying, right?
Huh?
I just didn't get the
So I still have to give you back projects 2 and 3, as you know.
Mhm.
You're going to do corrections for projects 2 and 3, meaning you're going to be looking at your own sentences and making corrections for 5 errors instead of 10, like for project 1, but you're going to do 5 for project 2 and 5 for project 3. The goal is to learn your own hiccups there. So like I was a comma splicer. I must have been absent on the day we went over what comma splices are in school because I didn't know what a comma splice was. And when I got to college, my teachers kept saying, this is a comma splice. I'm like, WTF is a comma splice? I had no idea. And we couldn't, back then, there was no such thing as Google. Can you believe that? Well, there was Google, but it meant a number, a big, big, big infinite number. And that's all it meant. I know, can you imagine? It was life without Google was much harder. Life without Wikipedia was much harder. We had to go to the library, and you could never find what you were looking for in the library. Like, you couldn't just Google it. There was just no such thing. It was crazy. What was my point?
You're talking about the limited amount of corrections versus how much there actually
5,
is.
not 10. I don't remember how I got to Google. Oh, I was a comma splicer. So I was in grad school until I knew what a comma splice was. It's an error. It's a comma error. It's using a comma by itself when the comma needs a partner, like a coordinating conjunction, a fanboy, to join independent clauses. A comma splice is when you join independent clauses with just a comma. The comma is a weakling and it can't do that by itself. So we still have, I'm going to hold like some correction sessions. I don't know when, like next Tuesday. I don't even know when.
Yeah, when are you planning to do this?
Soon.
Like in the middle of the project?
Yep.
There's no other time really to do it. Okay.
Oh, I know. We've got a week and there's a lot to do in that next week. And I'm going to make it optional. You don't have to come to the correction sessions, but you don't have to do corrections, but you don't earn back the 5 points that I'll deduct. Anyway.
Sure.
I have a question.
So with the final project, we don't do corrections. Instead, you try to apply your knowledge from having done the corrections for projects 1, 2, and 3 to your project 4. And you try to be a good proofreader, because part of learning to be a better writer means learning to proofread your own work. So I think the question you were asking, Christos, is, so for each grade, it says something like no more than 10 errors for each, not grade, but for each like level, like impressive versus good versus weak, or whatever I called them. So your question is that the determining factor? Like, if you have more than 15 errors, does that mean you automatically get a D? No, it doesn't mean that, but it means it's factored in this time and you don't get to make it up like you do for projects 1, 2, and 3. What other questions do you have?
So like on our project 1, we had like our base grade, and then we had our attainable grade, which was like the adding in the 10 corrections.
Mhm.
So for this one, it will just be like, I don't know, say on project 1, you got a 70 and your attainable grade was an 80. On this grade, it would be a 70 to a 75. It wouldn't be like a 75 to an 80. Like, it wouldn't take into factor that like you also had more things to do, I guess.
It's not automatic. It's one of the things that I'm factoring into the overall assessment of your work. So like on project 1, the way I highlighted stuff in the evaluation criteria, I'll be highlighting stuff. And if I highlight contains more than 15 errors, that's something that I'm factoring into the overall assessment of your grade. So it doesn't automatically bump you from a 75 to a 70. It's not a 1-for-1 thing. I'm not deducting, if you have 10 errors, I'm not deducting 10 points. It's something that I factor in. How careful is your work? How much have you learned about proofreading this semester? That's a factor. It's not a do or die. It's not an automatic subtraction. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
So then I guess what I was also trying to ask was, because we only have the 5 for the project 2 and 3 corrections, does that mean we can only go up 5 points as opposed to 10 on this? Yeah, so, okay, I got you.
But it means 5 is the most that will be subtracted.
Oh, no, you're right, never mind. That's a lot better.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll get these grades back? Because like right now, we technically don't know what our grade is.
I know. And I know it's scary. I know it feels really, really scary. All I can say is ASAP. ASAP.
Okay.
Wait, so just to clarify, we have the RCS is due, the Spark Draft due, the Project 4, and the Reflection, and the Challenge 2, and corrections for Project 2 and 3, all due before May 7th or 6th.
Yeah.
on top of all our other
Hey,
finals
hey,
for other
hey,
Top of
classes.
all
wait.
of our finals.
I have really good news. I have really, really good news. Okay, that's the bad news. I have really good news. We don't have a final in this class. We don't have a final exam.
But isn't like the challenge 2 and our project 4 low key our final because they're due at the same time?
Hey, who asked you to be smart? Who asked you to be a smart aleck? Okay, who asked you? Yes, yes, that is a correct interpretation of, yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, Jane, what were you saying?
Nothing.
Oh, you were saying something.
No, I just said on top of all our other finals, we have to do all 95.
You're in college, and this is one of your classes. It's true. Was that sassy? Do I get the sassy award of the day?
Yeah, you've been really on like a different level these past few weeks. I don't really know why.
Really?
Can I also ask, I would just want to ask something then too. So basically then, if we get to the end, get our grade back and it's like god awful, we have like no way of salvaging it because we didn't know like at all like throughout the semester. That's just like my biggest concern right now.
I get that. Here's the other thing about college classes, like you have lots of grades in this class, you have lots of grade opportunities. In many college classes, you have like 2, a midterm and a final. Did I mute you all? Are you on mute? Did I turn off my volume?
No, I just think we all feel screwed. Cause like we're all, I guess like I'm scared my grade is gonna be so bad.
Oh, I have something to add. So I put into Canvas the 1% attendance bonus column. So from the beginning of the semester, you've known that if you come to every class and you have your camera on, that you earn a 1% bonus on your course grade. And I told you from the beginning, it's been a difference maker. I've used it for years and it's lifted people from that B+ to that A-, from that A- to that A, from that C to that C+. I told you from the beginning, it's been a difference maker for people.
Okay, that helps for sure.
Can everything that's due be on Canvas at least? The only thing that is not currently posted, but that I'm working on is the challenge 2. I started working on it and then I don't create it. I just have to deploy it. So I need to just tweak it a little bit. That's the only thing that's not, well, no, that's not true. The reflection, I have not posted the reflection portal yet, but everything else is up there. Well, that's not true. The corrections for projects 2 and 3. I can't give you a due date on the corrections for project 2 and 3 because I haven't given you back project 2 or 3.
Wait, so when will we get the project 2 and 3? Because like, are we gonna have like a day to do the corrections?
I'm pretty sure somebody already asked this question. Brooke, what's the answer?
ASAP.
Oh, sorry, my audio's been going in and out the whole day.
What other questions do you have?
I have a proposition. So everybody seems to be really worried about the fact that like this is taking so long, but that we're trying to fit this in a week, right? So how about this? If for some reason the corrections, like you don't get them out in time and there's, you post them on like May 6th and there's that just barely any time to do them. In that case, we can run, we just treat it as if the 5 corrections were all done correctly. That's 5 points back on it.
Okay.
But like as
Okay.
if it's done in
You want to
reasonable
forego
time.
corrections for projects 2 and 3. That's what you're saying.
No, if it's late, we'll not forego them. We'll still get the points from the correction. Like they won't be taken off in the first place, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah. That's fine with me.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
Wait, so what's the list of everything we have to do?
What?
Do you have a list of like all the stuff we have to do?
I don't have a list. You're the ones who should have a list because you're the ones who have to do it.
I feel like you should have a list somewhere.
Okay. Check your to-do list. In Canvas, you have a thing called a to-do list. Who's in Canvas right now and can read what's on your to-do list? I can't see your to-do list. Who's in Canvas and can tell us what's on your to-do list?
So video draft was today, RCS 4.1, RCS 4.2, 4.3, Spark draft, and then project 4, and then the corrections.
And the reflection. I do need to add I need to add a portal for the reflection. I don't have a due date for the corrections because I can't have a due date for the corrections until I give you back projects 2 and 3. Ben, does that answer your question?
Yeah, that kind of seems like a lot though. Like a lot.
I would kind of rather just have a final.
Will you be accepting, like, I don't want to say late work. I guess, like, I can't speak for everyone, but I am moving out the 5th, and you have things due by the 7th, and I live very far away. So I guess I'm just a bit worried that I won't have things done to you on time.
Oh, you're welcome to turn it in early.
Okay, well, I have 2 huge finals, so I don't know how it, like, I'm just trying to manage my time as much as possible.
I mean, it's not like I don't accept it if it's late. It just gets a late penalty.
Okay.
What other questions do you have? All right, so since this is our last class, one more thing, this is important. I will be holding conferences about project 4 on Saturday. So I'm going to be sending a doodle poll. And if you have exams on Saturday and you can't do Saturday, then we can do it on Friday, which is tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to be sending out a doodle poll. If none of the times work for you in the doodle poll, then you can let me know and we'll negotiate something else. Why? Because I'm flexible. What was I saying? If you haven't met with me about a draft this semester, you're expected to meet with me about a draft at some point in the semester. So tomorrow and Saturday is your last chance to do that. So I'm going to be, since this is the last class, I know therefore who has come to every class meeting. However, like I try to remember to take a screenshot every time, but I don't always remember to take a screenshot every time. So if you don't, so at Canvas used to have a thing where I could enter +1% as like text, and it doesn't allow text anymore. I don't know what happened to that, but I have to use incomplete or complete. So if you're earning the 1% bonus, you'll see a complete. I'm not going to use the incomplete, but if you don't see a complete and you're like, yo, lady, I came to every class meeting, just let me know and I'll give you the credit. And if I give you the credit and you didn't come to every class meeting, the JMU honor code applies, and I expect you to tell me that you didn't actually come to every class meeting. Okay. Okay, well, we have 4 minutes left. I hope to see you at the party in the park on Sunday at 2. So usually with Purcell Park, you can reserve shelters, but because of the pandemic, they're not letting people reserve shelters, or at least they're not the last time I checked. I meant to check again and I forgot to check. So I think what we'll do is we'll meet at the shelter that's by Kids Castle. You'll know what Kids Castle is. If you've never been to Purcell Park, you'll be like, oh, that's Kids Castle. We'll meet at the shelter there, but if there are already other people there, which there might be on Sunday at 2 o'clock, because that's where the parents hang out while their kids play on the Kids Castle, then we'll just move to a different shelter. So make sure you have somebody's phone number, including my phone number. So if you're like, I'm at Purcell Park and I'm at the shelter by Kids Castle and nobody's here, then you can text me or somebody in class and we can tell you where we had to move. Does that make sense? Okay, so the shelter by Kids Castle. And you don't want me to pick you up? You don't think that would be fun to like have like the party wagon? You get like access to the first Krispy Kreme donuts because they're going to be in my car. Well, that's cool. If you want me to pick you up, let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you sober on Sunday at 2 o'clock in the park. And I'm gonna have lots of donuts. So if you don't show up, I'm gonna have to eat them, and that would be bad for my pandemic pounds diet. So I hope you'll be there.
Oh, we're gonna be so busy from all the homework.
Okay, well, you're invited. If you can't make it, I'm sorry. Come see me next year in Harrison 2294, and I'll give you a donut next academic year in August. Come see me in August and I'll give you a donut. All right. I'm gonna miss you. Damn, I'm gonna miss you.
Why?
Because Danielle kept asking me if you were like my favorite class, and I was like, no, but the truth of the matter is that before today anyway, you were. Today I feel sort of attacked by you. I don't really like you that much anymore, but before today you were. So I'm not having a party in the park with any of my other classes, just you all.
It's kind of sad that like we're your favorite class, but you know what? Whatever makes you feel better.
Okay, thanks. Well, it was before today anyway. It's not really true anymore. So, all right. Thanks for coming. I hope to see you on Sunday.
All right, thank you. See you Sunday.
Thank you. Bye.
See you Sunday. Thank you.